In Washington, D.C., County Judge Ricardo Samaniego testified before the House Judiciary Committee. He gave lawmakers a glimpse of how El Paso managed the recent migrant surge, while Republicans pressed him on border issues in a hearing that at times got contentious. ABC 7's Emma Hoggard reports.
El Paso County Judge Ricardo Samaniego testifying on Capitol Hill Wednesday. He spoke to the House Judiciary Committee about the ongoing border crisis.
I'm here today to share the El Paso story, a success story which strikes delicate balance between security and compassion.
County Judge Ricardo Samaniego was invited to take part in the first congressional hearing on the border crisis, an effort led by the new Republican majority. In his opening remarks, telling lawmakers he wants to dispel some of the misinformation about the challenges the borderland faces.
There is no open border in El Paso. There is no invasion of migrants in our community, nor are there hordes of undocumented immigrants committing crimes against citizens or causing havoc in our community.
But some members of the committee pressing him on their perception of increased migration leading to more crime.
So we've got some problems here, sir, and I would like to ask you this question. Do you believe that these illegal migrants are coming into our communities, harming the American citizens? Thank you. Your answer is yes.
And
you may know that
Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff asked the judge whether he knew if any of the migrants were smuggling drugs into the country.
The fentanyl crisis is real, but how is it really entering the country in your experience, and who is doing the smuggling?
They're coming in through the port of entries. We do not get a lot of information of migrants doing that. As I said earlier, the fact that they're not carrying much with them and the fact that they've been vetted as they come in when we process them.
A Republican lawmaker also asking Samaniego if the public should be concerned if the violence caused by the drug trade could spill into the U.S.
But we don't need to respond as if this is an emergency and a threat to the United States.
Well, there's a threat, but I cannot understand what we're here for. Immigration. We're here to discuss what's the right thing to do for immigration.
Samaniego also facing criticism for helping get migrants to their final destinations after being processed by Border Patrol. Some suggesting asylum seekers should be detained while their cases play out, something Samaniego says is impractical.
That's one of the most impractical things I've ever heard of. Right now, Border Patrol is shivering, thinking, how are we going to do that?
Another witness on the stand Wednesday, a sheriff from Arizona, he described the situation along the border right now as the, quote, ugliest he's ever experienced. Reporting from the studio, Emma Hoggard, ABC 7.